Thank you for staying with us. Now joining us to continue this discussion is an economist, Tunji Andrews. Tunji, thanks for coming on the program.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Well, so what came to your mind when you saw this, the federal government's recovery plan for the country at the moment?
I think it's important that we understand that with every economic downturn, with every recession, it's important for the government to have a plan. And that is because so that all other arms of government can collectively work together to one goal, and also private sector can have sort of a guideline to look at to invest in. And it's important for that goal, to that plan to be bullish, ambitious, and all of that. But we kind of, I think, overdid the bullishness, and we went into the realm of unrealistic. Now, the first thing that jumps out of you from that plan is the fact that we're planning to do 7% GDP growth in between 2019 and 2020, which you know that we're at minus 2% contraction at this particular time. So in less than 3 years to do 7% is, you will literally need the windows of heaven to open up for that to happen.
Ultimately, the plan isn't doable. That's what you're saying. It's not achievable.
To achieve what the plan says in detail, word for word, is not doable. But we can use it to at least get us out of here. Because, I mean, it's going to get us bullish, it's going to get us moving in the right direction. Although it was very silent around the issues of FX, the FX policy, which if you really look at the recession and what created the recession, the FX policy is about 70%. And it just kind of gave being a more transparent, more flexible, without giving specifics, And a lot of foreign investors were looking to see FX direction in that, but since they didn't see it, and I think that is also because the CBN is supposed to be autonomous in its dealings. So I think for that, we'll still continue to look to the CBN for guidance on terms of the FX policy.
Yeah, because that's one of the issues that a lot of people have raised, the issue of specifics, the issue of even investors or importers of goods and services not having access to FX again, which, like you said, is one of the major drivers of, bringing the country out of recession. But then, if the plan is not really realistic, or even specific about plans for these sectors, I think we might be shooting ourselves in the foot. But then, you are the economist. What do you think?
I want to be from whichever way I want to look at it. I can't be pessimistic about it. I can say yes, their heads were in the clouds.
But you have to be realistic, like you said.
Yeah, their heads were in the clouds, obviously. But I also know that when it comes to markets and investors, a bullish plan, however unrealistic, is better than no plan at all. Do you understand? So the fact that we have a very 7%, so they feel you're going to put in a lot of money.
But why build castles in the air when you can build them on earth?
Oh, well, you have to ask the people that put together the plan. But I feel they should have been more realistic. And we all know, if you put the basic computations down, 3% is basically what we can do in that period. And we still need a cogent direction around FX. But what even bothers me with the entire plan, is the fact that it's just a 2-year plan. So what happens after 2019?
It's a short-term plan.
We need to be thinking 50 years from now. There's a study that says Nigeria.
Well, this administration ends in 2019.
But government is a continuum. We can't just be thinking short term. We can't just be thinking 4 years. There's a study that says Nigeria will be the 3rd largest population in the world by 2050. Who's planning for that? Who's planning for that population boom? Who's planning for that explosion? The people, is the Ministry of Works planning for that? Is the Ministry of Power planning for that? That is what I want to see. I want to see a very long-term plan that everybody will be able to key into, so that I know that I can build my factory over 5 years and still be able to meet this plan. This 2-year plan is good, but what we need is a very long-term plan that can help everybody. There's this thing in the Bible that says, write the vision, make it plain, so that he that sees it will run with it. That is what we want to see. Let's make something plain so that everybody can key into it and, push Nigeria forward. I don't think this plan is going to excite them. I'm sorry. But I think what we need to see is a long-term vision for Nigeria, something that inspires, something that makes you have goosebumps. You know, when you think about it, you know, something like we want to be the regional PMS hub for West Africa, something that is, you know, ambitious, and that in that we now call in foreign investors. Can you come and help us, you know, do this, make sure this happens? That is the kind of goal and vision that will get people to bring out their money. That is what America does. That is what every other country in the world does. You know, give people a vision to buy into, so that they can, you know, bring in their money into the scenario.
But like you said, this one is better than not having anyone
yes,
at all.
At all.
So let's wait and see how that plays out. Let's wait and see what happens in 2018 and even 2019, when the plan is going to elapse or expire. But then Tunji Andrews, economist, thanks for coming on the program.
Thank you very much for having
sharing your thoughts. We'll be hoping to see, or we'll be waiting to see that blockbuster when it comes in 2018.
Yeah.
But of course, that's where we take a quick break. When we return, we're taking some of your tweets, of course, and other messages on our social media platforms, and also review the most viewed videos on our YouTube channel in the past week. Stay with us. In fifth place is the video of factional chairman of the People's Democratic Party, Ali Modu Sharif, meeting with former President Goodluck Jonathan.
The ability of resolving these differences is what makes us human beings and what makes us leaders. I've met with Sharif and leaders of the party. I'll meet with all others. And at the end of the day, PDP will become stronger, so that we will be able to do what is expected of us.
Up next is that of Nigerians in South Africa counting their losses after xenophobic attacks.
I've been here since 8 years. Everything I work for, everything has gone. Please, I don't know what people, Nigerians, what they're gonna do to help us. I'm a mechanic. Everybody that is doing mechanic at home, they know what it costs for someone to destroy a whole workshop. Please, I don't know.
Third spot is taken by the video of the clash between two ethnic groups in Ile-Ife, Osun State, that resulted to the loss of lives and property worth millions. Second is the inspection of the facilities of the Kaduna International Airport by Vice President Yemi Osinbajo.
We told them that they certainly need to speed up. As a matter of fact, we've asked that they double the number of persons who are working on the ceiling and on some other facilities. They certainly need to work much faster and much more diligently to be able to deliver on schedule.
While in first place is the arrival of President Muhammadu Buhari from the United Kingdom after taking a vacation, during which he attended to his health. So the main aim of the federal government's plan to take the country out of economic doldrums may have been spelt out, but implementing this plan will determine if the economy will see business-friendly economic policies which will help to attract local and international investors, generate employment, diversify the economy, and ultimately take the country out of recession. And that's where we drop the curtains on this edition of the program. Thank you for watching. I am Victor Matthias.